Okay, let's get into it. There's been a pretty surprising NFL shakeup brewing, and definitely a potentially explosive quarterback situation over in Cleveland.
Yeah, we've gathered quite a few reports, even pulled some insights from an interesting YouTube transcript from Com5 1K.
Right, to sort of break down what these big headlines actually mean for the teams involved.
And what's really interesting, I think, is how looking at different kinds of sources can, really highlight the strategies and maybe the potential flashpoints.
Exactly. So this deep dive, it's about getting under the surface. We want to understand the impact of, say, Travis Hunter landing in Jacksonville, that whole QB mess in Cleveland.
But deliver it in a way that, gives you the core analysis without just drowning you in stats and minor details.
Okay, let's zero in on Jacksonville first then. They didn't just draft Travis Hunter, the Heisman winner. They actually traded up to get him at number 2.
Mm-hmm. Big move. And his rookie minicamp, that kicks off Friday. You can almost feel the buzz already.
And it sounds like the new head coach, Liam Cohen, he has a very specific plan. He wants more boom plays, basically.
Yeah, more touchdowns from anywhere on the field. That Com5 1K source actually pointed this out, how last year in Tampa their offense was efficient, sure, but
But lacked those game-changing long plays.
exactly. Long, methodical drives were their thing. Cohen's explicitly said he wants to build around Trevor Lawrence to make him as explosive and dynamic as possible.
Which makes total sense when you look at Brian Thomas Jr. last season. He had, what, 11 more catches of 20-plus yards than the next Jaguar?
Yeah, that's a huge gap. One of the biggest in the league, actually. It just screams, we need guys who can take the top off.
And then you factor in the departures. Christian Kirk, Evan Ingram.
Yeah.
Those were Lawrence's go-to guys, his comfort blankets, really.
Absolutely. Losing them isn't just about personnel swaps. It signals a real shift. A new offensive system coming in, new dynamics, probably more deep shots.
It's a learning curve, for sure. New targets, new system. But the source material did mention Cohen worked with Mike Evans back in Tampa.
Right. And Evans, while maybe not a pure burner later on, he still knew how to get open, how to work with his QB. So Cohen knows how to scheme for that kind of player, which could help Lawrence adapt.
And it all comes back to speed, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Drafting Thomas Jr., then Hunter, bringing in Katie Brown. It's like speed, speed, speed.
Oh, definitely. It's a clear strategy, stretch the field vertically, make defenses back off. The report we saw even compared it to, what the Chiefs did with Tyreek Hill or how Green Bay is built now.
Create that deep threat constantly. Open things up underneath. So, okay, the spotlight swings right onto Trevor Lawrence now.
It has to, right? The analysts we looked at were pretty clear. You invest this much draft capital, bring in these weapons, tailor the offense.
The pressure's on. Consistent high-level play isn't just hoped for. It's demanded now.
And let's be honest, the narrative around Lawrence has always been that potential, but it hasn't quite clicked consistently. There have been flashes, but also some downs.
Yeah, the coaching carousel didn't help, obviously. That Urban Meyer year was, well, a setback. And injuries have played a part, too.
For sure. And then there are games like that Monday nighter against Cincy mentioned in the sources. Burrow's out, and Lawrence just didn't really take over like you'd expect your franchise guy to.
Mm-hmm. Doug Pederson came in to stabilize things. Now Cohen's here to ignite it. It really feels like, okay, this is the moment for Lawrence to grab that elite QB mantle.
No more excuses, basically.
No.
And the stats back it up, ranked 22nd in explosive pass plays last year. Lots of room to improve there.
Okay, big shift now. Let's switch gears completely, head over to Baltimore. A real bombshell drop there.
Yeah, the Ravens releasing Justin Tucker. Wow. After 13 seasons.
It's huge. And the reason cited, it's serious. The ongoing NFL investigation into those allegations of improper conduct during massage therapy sessions.
It is. The transcript we reviewed mentions 16 therapists from multiple places making accusations. Tucker denies them, of course, but the investigation is proceeding.
It's just tough to wrap your head around. Tucker's not just any kicker. He's the most accurate kicker in NFL history. Been a Raven since 2012. Just iconic for them.
Absolutely undeniable impact. But what's also telling is how the Ravens handled it or maybe prepared for it.
You mean drafting Tyler Loop?
Exactly. 6th round. First kicker they've ever drafted. That suggests they saw this potential outcome on the horizon, a preemptive move.
GM Eric DeCosta called it a tough decision, blaming the current roster. That feels like carefully chosen words, doesn't it?
It does. It signals they're trying to manage a very delicate, very serious situation while keeping the team's focus, even if it means parting ways with a legend under these circumstances.
All right, final stop. Cleveland. And wow, talk about a crowded quarterback room.
Seriously, you've got the rookie, Shedder Sanders, another rookie in Dylan Gabriel, then veterans Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett.
Yeah.
Oh, and Deshaun Watson coming back from that Achilles.
That's a lot of QBs.
And remember that stat from the Comfavonke report? 40 different starting quarterbacks since 1999? 40.
Good grief. That's the most in the league, right? Really puts this whole situation into perspective. They're still searching.
Definitely. Now, rookie minicamp is coming up, but let's be real. The analysts we saw at Rightly pointed out that's mostly about logistics, learning the playbook basics.
Not deciding the week 1 starter.
Not at all, but you can already feel the anticipation building around Sanders versus Gabriel. That competition is going to be fascinating to watch unfold.
Even if it's early days. The source material made a good point. We've seen maybe more talented rookie QB classes overall, like RG3 and Cousins coming in together.
Right, but maybe not this kind of direct head-to-head competition between two drafted rookies in the same room quite so early on. It's a bit unique.
So who gets the nod week 1? Assuming Watson isn't quite ready, which seems likely.
Well, the consensus from the info we dug into seems to lean towards Joe Flacco.
Experience, right? Familiarity.
Exactly. Veteran camp reps are limited. Flacco knows the ropes. He can step in quickly. It gives him an edge, probably.
Which kind of suggests the Browns aren't necessarily looking to throw Sanders or Gabriel into the fire immediately.
Seems that way. Maybe they want a smoother transition, let Flacco handle things while the rookies get their feet wet, learn the system, maybe compete for backup duties initially.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? They have the massive Watson contract hanging over everything, his injury adding uncertainty. Flacco's a solid bridge.
A very capable bridge. Gives them stability while those young guys develop. It'll be interesting to see how long that bridge lasts, though.
Okay, so wrapping this up, key takeaways. Jacksonville is going all in on speed, putting Trevor Lawrence squarely on the clock for a breakout year.
Baltimore's navigating a really difficult, sensitive situation with a franchise icon while smartly planning for the future at kicker.
And Cleveland. Well, the QB carousel might slow down, but the competition is just heating up. We've got a fascinating battle brewing, likely starting with a veteran at the helm.
Which brings us to a final thought, something for you to chew on. With so much invested in guys like Lawrence and now Sanders in Cleveland, how long is the leash, really?
Yeah, how long can teams afford to wait for that consistent elite QB play in today's NFL, especially with that kind of draft capital spent?
It's the big question, isn't it? Something Jacksonville and Cleveland are definitely facing right now.